Hey everyone, Chris here from Roundtable Co-Op. With a first look at Colossal Cave. This is a reimagining of the 1975 original game. This one is by esteemed developers Ken and Roberta Williams of the Sierra Online ilk. I'm very much looking forward to jumping into the game. And this is described by the developers as a 3D interpretation of the original text adventure. It's set for release on January 19 on Mac, MetaQuest 2, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. And this review, or this playthrough, is on the Steam PC version. So I have played through the game myself already, and I struggled a lot just with the logic, and that's just a me thing. But one thing I do suggest anyone, any new players, is would you like to read instructions? Yes, read the instructions.
Somewhere nearby is Colossal Cave, where others have found fortunes in treasure and gold. It is rumored that some who enter are never to be seen again, and magic is said to permeate the cave. I know of places, actions, and things. Take me with you, and I will be your eyes and hands. Keep watch on your compass. It will guide you through the cave. I know of a few special objects, such as a black rod hidden in the cave. Take these objects and carry them in your inventory, which will show you the items you're carrying. Some objects have side effects. For instance, the rod scares the bird, and usually people unsuccessfully manipulating an object are attempting something beyond their or my capabilities, and should try a different tack. Take heed that cave passages turn often, and realize that exiting one room to the north does not always guarantee entering the next from the south. And just because you enter a room one time without issue does not mean that you won't be rechanneled elsewhere the next. To get full credit for a treasure, you must leave it safely in the little building, though you do get partial credit for just locating the treasure. Points get lost for getting killed, or for quitting, though the former costs you more. Also, points are based on how much of the cave you've managed to explore. There is a large bonus just for penetrating the deeper cave, distinguishing the beginners from the rest of the pack. There are other ways to determine whether you've survived some of the more harrowing sections. And if you think you've found all the treasures, just keep exploring for a while. There's more to discover. Occasionally, I may offer hints if you seem to be having trouble. If I do, I'll warn you in advance how much it will cost your score to accept the hints. Good luck.
Okay, so because I've played before, I'm going to completely wipe my map. No spoilers. And this game, Colossal Cave, can automatically map your journey as you play. This is recommended, although adventure game aficionados may not want this for themselves. And I do have that. It is a really, really cool thing to see the map as you go.
You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully.
Okay, so that's all the hand holding we get. So we have the mouse. I'm using keyboard and mouse, and choosing to use keyboard to move around and mouse to look around. So I've got an eye icon, and then when you're near things that you can interact with, the eye icon will change. Will have like a white outline around it. So if I just press it now,
You are standing at the end of a road before a small brick building.
Just repeats.
Around you is a forest. A small stream flows out of the building and down a gully.
And so if I go down the gully, so actually you can't jump. So one thing which I found early on is you can't jump. So you can you're limited to the terrain and the navigation of the terrain. So you can't jump or you can actually go into the stream, but you can't get up the embankment there. So if I go down to so there's nothing in this clearing. So if you go to these trees and things, there's nothing to see. It may describe the area you're in differently.
You're in open forest, near both a valley and a road.
Yep. And each time you click, you're using a turn. So later on, if you die or towards the end of the game, or if you save the game and quit, it tells you how many turns you have been using. So you can see the icon there changes to a white one when you can interact with something.
The grate is locked. A large owl seems to be watching you.
And then once you get close to something on the right, I use right mouse button and it changes the icon from look to use.
You can't go through a locked steel grate.
Fair enough. Now we'll go back up, back to the house, which is called the well house. And the reason it's called a well house does.
You see rushing water.
That goes out and that feeds the stream out here. In the warehouse, we have a rickety roof. We have some items.
There is a shiny brass lamp nearby.
If I just go look in here.
You're inside a building, a well house for a large spring.
We've got...
There is a bottle of water here. There is food here.
And...
There are some keys on the ground here.
Okay, so we know that there was a locked grate back there, so we definitely want to pick up the keys. And... was there anything else? Okay.
There is a shiny brass lamp nearby.
So we'll get the lamp. We'll leave the food and water for now. But actually, if you do pick up the water, so you press tab to go to your inventory.
Set of keys.
So you can
Set of keys.
Inspect
Set brass lantern. Bottle of water.
Inspect the items here, and then if you click on the bottle of water, you can drop it, drink it, or use it. So I'm just going to drop it back.
Dropping things you're carrying requires a nice, wide, flat place to put them.
Fair enough.
Bottle of water.
The reason I'm dropping it now is because I've only got limited inventory space, which comes into play later. So the logical thing to do, we have the keys.
Set of keys.
Let's go see what the keys will unlock down here at the grate. So I'm only going to show about 45 minutes of gameplay just to not spoil too much. In my first playthrough, this starting process was quite
have unlocked the grate.
logical. Then I got stuck pretty quick, so that I'll just not try and use my knowledge yet to spoil too many things.
You're in a small chamber beneath a 3x3 steel grate to the surface. A low crawl over cobbles leads inwards to the west.
Okay. So we can look at things.
You're below. You see a sturdy ladder. Strange. Looks like others have been here before you.
And so, yeah, you essentially want to look around at objects, and if there's a white outline, that's generally things that you can interact with. So we're in the upper cave. We've got the grate that we came from up to the open forest, and then this is called the Cobble Crawl. So if we look to the left, there's a dead end, and if we go to the right, there's a passageway through, but I'll go to the left first. So it is quite dark. So what you can do is then...
Brass lantern.
Lamp on.
The lantern is now lit.
And you don't have to refill the lantern in a general playthrough unless you're spending a lot of time in the game. But there is a way to recharge the lantern later, which I'll leave you to figure out. So I'm just looking around for points or things that I can interact with. So if I open the map, it doesn't actually show like exactly where you are, so you kind of have to visualize yourself on the map screen. And again, I'm just looking for things that I can possibly, like that.
There is a small wicker cage discarded nearby.
So we'll just grab that. every item you see has a place and a use. So as long as you've got the inventory space, you can pick things up. You can drop them later. But if you do drop something, let me just see. Let me just
Wicker
test something.
cage. Dropping things you're carrying requires a nice wicker cage.
If I drop that there, some items will show their icon on the map. So if I move back to anyway, yeah, the items will, if you drop an item, which I didn't realize this for hours, well, for at least an hour into the game, because I picked up something, I dropped it because I ran out of inventory space, realized that I needed it later, and then had to run back and remember where it was. But what I didn't realize is if you drop something
Wicker cage.
in a particular section of the cave, it'll show that icon if it's a meaningful thing. Alright, so next area, and I
You are
just
in a
saw
debris
something.
room filled with stuff washed in from the surface. A low, wide passage with cobbles becomes plugged with mud and debris here, but an awkward canyon leads upward and west.
Okay, so you can see something flashing down there. Unless I moved. Anyway, and then there's a familiar sign for anyone that's played the original game.
It says Zizzy.
And that little
Zizzy.
sound, that da-da, added Zizzy to my little journal here. Now, I'm just having another look around. So if I open up the map, now we've got the debris room. We've got Zizzy there. And that, the way down there is the way out. But then I'm going to go down here because I saw something flashing. Here we go.
A 3-foot black rod with a rusty star on an end lies nearby.
Okay, so can you remember in that starting tutorial they mentioned something about the
You can't go further west.
black
here.
rod? So I'll just leave it at that if you can remember. Right, I'm going to go through this gap here. And the graphics are fantastic for the inside of this cave. Just the depth perception and the sounds, the dripping water, the bats. And then I haven't tried falling off. I imagine you can fall off. Maybe you can't. Oh, I don't want to try it. If you die, you lose points. So on the top left, you've got the points counter, which is familiar to anyone that's played like a Sierra game before. And then
A cheerful little bird is sitting here singing.
so this is the awkward canyon, and you can see there's bats on the map.
The bird was unafraid when you entered, but as you approach, it becomes disturbed. The bird was unafraid when you entered,
Yep.
but as you approach, it becomes disturbed.
So then it comes back.
The little bird won't let you near it. The little bird won't let you near it.
Okay. So I'll just leave that for now.
At your feet is a small pit breathing traces of mist. A white mist, usually water, seen from time to time in caverns. It can be found anywhere, but is frequently a sign of a deep pit leading down to water.
Okay. So the narrator basically gives you a rundown of every new area that you're entering within a particular zone, I guess. This is called the Misty Pit. Alright, nothing to see there. And then come into this area here. Now,
You're at the east end of a vast hall stretching out of sight to the west. There are openings to either side. To the north, a cold wind blows up from a wide stone staircase leading downward. The hall is filled with wisps of white mist swaying to and fro, almost as if alive. Rough stone steps go upward behind you, and an upward scramble to the south leads to a chamber.
Okay. Let's go and check out what's going on up here.
Whoa!
Huh. All right.
There is a large, sparkling nugget of gold here.
So you might have seen or heard that, boom, and we gained 2 points just for looking at an item. Sometimes when you see an item that's immediately you want to grab, it's worth looking at the item first, because if you're a score chaser like me, you'll want to get as many as you can, and you get plus 2 points for looking at any new
A pickaxe is
any
stuck
new
in the rock.
important item. So in this case, a treasure. So I'll grab that.
It says you won't get it up the steps.
Okay, then we got...
A pickaxe is stuck in the rock. You could never pull it out, no matter how hard you try. You're in a low room. Veins of gold cover the walls.
And I kind of just pixel hunt around just to see if there's anything we can look at.
Looks like an old miner's helmet. Looks like coal. Don't dirty your hands with it. It's broken and useless.
Can't pick that up. Okay, can't do anything with this.
You're in a low room.
Nope.
Veins of gold cover the walls.
Okay, so now we've got
Set of
keys.
Brass lantern. Wicker cage. Black rod. Large gold nugget.
All right.
You're in the east end of the Hall of Mists. A little
Whoa.
dwarf. Watch out!
Okay, so he threw an axe at us. So if we kind of look in the trajectory of where he threw the axe, we might be able to pick it up. Maybe not. Oh.
There is a little axe here.
Okay.
Dwarf's axe. Dwarf's axe.
Alright, so let's go to this bridge here first.
You're on the east bank of a fissure slicing clear across the hall. The mist is quite thick here, and the fissure is too wide to jump. There must be a way to cross this fissure. You think about leaping across the fissure, and quickly realize that you'd rather not risk falling.
Okay. So we can't cross there, so we'll go to the next room. It was very Indiana Jones, this bit.
You're in the Hall of the Mountain King, with passages off in 5 directions.
Love the music.
A huge green fierce snake bars the way. A huge green fierce snake bars the way. It would be dangerous to try and catch the snake.
Okay. It's in the middle here. It's in the middle here.
Could this have been the king's throne?
Okay. Okay, so the snake seems to be...
A huge green fierce snake bars the way.
Alright, blocking everything. Ah. I hate snakes. Can go down this way. So this is the Hall of the Mountain King. We've got the Altar room. What's the altar room? Okay, something in there. And then... Whoa, jeepers. So you can see I could have gone down the steps then. So see if it's a random chance of getting the snake to come up. Oh. Let's see if I can go down this one. No. Oh, he's gone away. Okay. Let's go down.
This walkway is rather rickety. I'd be careful if I were you.
Rude passage.
You are overlooking a tight north-south canyon below.
There seems to be a dwarf down there.
This walkway is rather rickety. I'd be careful if I were you.
Alright, so lost sight of the there he is.
The wide steps are blocked by a mass of boulders.
Okay.
These engravings are beautiful and enigmatic. You briefly wonder who created them.
Oh, damn.
Watch out! A huge dragon snoozes atop a beautiful Persian rug.
Okay, so the Persian rug sounds like a valuable, but a dragon, all we've gotten is an axe.
The dragon looks rather nasty. You best not try to get by. A huge, green, fierce dragon bars the way. A huge, green, fierce dragon bars the way. The little axe bounces harmlessly off the dragon's thick scales.
Okay.
Attack a dragon with your bare hands? Someone reckless would try that. Congratulations. You just vanquished a dragon with your bare hands.
Take that,
Unbelievable,
green
isn't it?
dragon. Gold. Actually meant to do
You
that.
don't want to beat a defeated dragon. It's had a hard enough day as it is.
Mhm.
A huge defeated dragon is lying off to one side.
Okay, well,
There is a Persian rug here.
let's take the rug. Okay, what's next? So where are we? We're in the dragon room. And there's a secret east-west canyon. Alright, so...
You're above a chamber where a large slab has fallen from the ceiling. This walkway is rather rickety.
Okay. Rickety bridge.
I'd be
so-
careful if I were you.
What's over this way? Huh.
The mirror is obviously provided for the use of the dwarves, who, as you know, are extremely vain.
Oh, what do we have here? I actually don't think I've seen this room on my first playthrough.
You're in a north-south canyon. The floor is covered by a white mist seeping in from the north. The walls extend upward for well over 100 feet. Suspended from some unseen point far above you, an enormous two-sided mirror is hanging midway between the canyon walls. A small window can be seen in either wall. That is a lit window. That is a lit window.
Okay. Oh, it's over here. So we're in the Mirror Canyon. Nothing here. Kind of stopping me from going forward, so I'll go this way.
You're at the edge of a large underground reservoir. White mist fills the room and rises rapidly upward. The lake is fed by a stream, which tumbles out of an overhead hole in the wall and splashes noisily into the water somewhere within the mist. A rowboat is tied to a small dock.
I wonder if we can use the boat.
That is useless right now. That boat doesn't belong to you.
Rude.
Be careful. You don't want to fall in here. This is a lake of fresh water.
Okay. Well, we can't use that. What's up here? Oh, I can't get there. There's like some kind of light there. Or is it just local? No?
A rowboat is tied to... That boat doesn't belong to you. That boat doesn't belong to you. There's no use for that here.
Right, well, so we're in the reservoir room. Okay, well, doesn't seem like we can do much, so we'll head out again. Now, let me just see if I can use...
Zizzy.
Say Zizzy.
Zizzy. That is useless right now.
Okay. I think you can only use Zizzy on the Zizzy room. Now, what is this? This is to down somewhere. What I might do is run back up through to the Hall of the Mountain King. See if we can't get past that pesky snake somehow. And also see if we can get back into the room, because that snake was blocking the entrance, so we'll see. Alright, so it's here. It lets us out, and then does he come back? Yes. Alright, so...
It would be dangerous to try and catch the snake. If you're trying to deal with the snake, I am prepared to give you a hint, but it will cost you 2 points. Touch the glowing snake if you would like the hint, but hurry before the glow disappears.
Okay, so in my playthrough I didn't take any hints, because I knew it was going to lose points, but let's do it as an example.
You can't kill the snake, or drive it away, or avoid it, or anything like that. There is a way to get by, but you don't have the necessary resources right now.
Okay. So that didn't really help us ultimately, so it wasn't worth the loss of 2 points, but that's okay. Just a demonstration at the moment of the gameplay. But I have an idea. So snakes eat things.
There is a threatening dwarf.
Ah!
A sharp knife is thrown. It missed.
Alright. I'm going to try and attack with this axe.
You have vanquished a little dwarf.
Let's get this. So you can fight back those dwarves, but that first knife throw could have got me in the head.
The knife vanishes in a poof of black smoke.
It is possible to die in the game, so yeah, that knife, if that connected, would have killed me. And
those steps are unclimbable while carrying that heavy gold nugget.
aha. Okay, so I'm going to leave the gold nugget here.
Large gold nugget.
So I want to get back up the steps. Now let's see if that puts... Yeah, so it puts it on the map. So that's one thing I wish I knew. I hadn't figured out early on, because I had done this kind of backtracking like before in my first game. And I left things, other items, willy-nilly when I wanted to, you know, try different things, and I had no idea that it put the icon on the map. Okay, so snakes would eat something, and maybe it'll eat the bird. What we have is a bird cage. Try and capture the bird.
The little bird won't let you near it. The bird was up. If you would like to catch the bird, I can give you a hint, but it will cost you 2 points. Touch the glowing bird if you would like the hint, but hurry before the glow disappears.
Alright, let's do it. Let's do it just for the demonstration purposes.
Something seems to be frightening the bird just now, and you cannot catch it no matter what you try. Perhaps you might try later.
Okay, so if you remember the starting tutorial help tips, I guess.
To black rod.
It said the bird was scared of the black rod. So if we drop the black rod, should show black rod on the screen. And now I should be able to go up to the bird.
You could catch the bird, but cannot carry it. A cheerful
Okay.
wicker cage.
Wicker cage.
You have captured the bird. Little bird in a cage.
I got the bird in the cage. And then I'm going to pick up my black rod because it seems important.
Black rod.
Okay, now let's go down to that snake. Give it some dinner. Oh, I got room.
Black
I got
rod.
room. Room for my gold. I don't want to lose that. So we're going to go down to the Hall of the Mountain King. And let's start over this way.
Little bird in a cage. Little bird attacks the green snake, and in an astounding flurry, drives the snake away.
Well, that didn't go how I was expecting. I thought he was going to eat it. But that's alright. The bird prevailed, escaped, got rid of the snake for us. And the wicker cage is still on the ground there. Shows you on the map. But it's done its purpose. So.
This is an ancient tomb.
Ah.
There is precious jewelry here.
Right, so we've got jewelry. Now we've got to pull
Precious jewelry.
inventory. So I know we saw, so that's the way down to where we just explored. We've got the something here.
There are rare coins here.
Coins, and then there seems to be a passage. Oh, to Secret Canyon. Let's have a look. Secret Canyon, hey? Okay.
You are at a crossover of a high north-south passage and a low east-west one.
Alright. Okay, so we're at a crossover junction. We can go east, west, south, and then we can try and climb this ladder, I guess. Alright, where does this take us? Takes us to...
You're at the west end of a long, featureless hall. The hall joins up with a
Oops. Miner's Tunnel.
narrow
Okay.
north-south passage.
So, Miner's Tunnel. Huh.
You're at the west end of a long hall. There is a north-south passage here. There is a threatening dwarf. A sharp knife is thrown. It missed. The black dwarf's
Let's get him.
axe. You have vanquished a little dwarf.
Yeah, got the axe. Comes in handy. Right. So we're in the long hall. We can go west, north, or east. North takes us back to the crossover junction. And then east takes us somewhere else. Let's see.
You're at the west end of the Hall of Mists. A low, wide crawl continues west, and another to the north. To the south, you spy a little passage up off the floor.
And so we're west of the Hall of Mists. What's that say? East bank of fissure. Oh, so we're across the other side of the fissure. Oh. Ah.
This must be where diamonds get polished.
Uh-huh.
There are diamonds here.
Alright, so we've got diamonds and coins, which are still on the map, so they're obviously treasures that we want to collect. But I haven't got any inventory space, so we want to get across this... Oh geez, I almost walked off.
There must be a way to cross this fissure.
Hang on.
Black rod. Persian black rod. A crystal bridge spans the fissure. A crystal bridge spans the fissure.
That you can see in
Black
no.
rod.
So black rod's still there. Okay. So. Uh-oh.
I'll just take all this booty and hide it away with me chest deep in the maze.
Son of a bee sting. He took all our treasures. No. So, that's a trap that you can fall into in this game, where that rascally pirate can take all the treasures that you have in your inventory at the time. There is a way to get them back, I won't tell you, but rest assured you can get them back. And that's probably a good place to end this gameplay demo of Colossal Cave by Ken and Roberta Williams and the amazing team at Cygnus Entertainment. There's some very passionate developers there that probably grew up themselves with the CO games just like I did, and they are lucky people that get to work with the Williamses and make incredible games like this. So what I'll do is go, because we've got no treasure, so we can climb back up. I'm just going to try and find that Zizzy room. It wasn't too far from here, I don't think. That was around. Here it is.
Zizzy. Zizzy. You feel a strange pulling sensation. You're back in the well house.
And that takes us back here. So had that rascally pirate not took all of our treasure, it's at this point though you can deposit the treasure into the well house in predetermined places. So all you would do is grab an item,
axe.
click drop.
Dwarf's axe.
And in fact, I'll try it with this. No, it doesn't work with that. If
Dwarf's
it's a treasure,
axe,
you click on
black
drop,
rod.
and it magically puts it onto a certain spot on this table. That's all I'll tell you now. I don't want to tell you any more. You need to discover it for yourselves, and I look forward to everyone being able to play on January 19th. And again, that's available on the Switch, PC, Mac, MetaQuest 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X, as well as PC on Steam, which is what I'm playing on. Hope you enjoyed that little gameplay snippet. I hope it didn't spoil too much. There was a couple of little spoilers there, but they're kind of like the introduction to the game.
Inside the building. It is safe to enter.
And if you had chosen to get the help at the start of the game, it gives you kind of a couple of hints there. But also, if you chose not to use the hint system, you actually start the game with a couple more points. So if you fancy yourself a good adventure gamer, test yourself and see how you go. My name's Chris from Roundtable Co-Op. You'll see my review of the game up on the website at roundtablecoop.com on January 19. But for now, I'll see you next time.